Okay, Mom.
Okay, guys, so
What have you got for us?
okay, so last episode we talked about, well, we used that contraction machine and we had an idea of who we were going to try it on.
Yes.
So I asked said individual, and said individual said yes, he gave us the green light. You guys, get your popcorn. It's time. Let's roll it. Let's roll it. Let's roll it. Let me show you guys what happened. Uruje wasn't there. She hasn't seen it, so I'm going to show it to her. She's going to give you guys your honest reaction, but let's roll it for you guys so you can see.
Listen, I got my coffee. We got our little Tupperware biscuit. Okay, there's some Oreo, some. Clearly, this is like my kid's snack dabba. Okay, I'm gonna dip the Oreo, and you're gonna play this.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, guys, best episode of the year. Here we have my brother-in-law, Sammy, who I really don't want to touch, so we're just going to do one of these. He's going to be our guinea pig. We are testing out this wonderful contraction machine. I told you guys we would test it on him, okay? On someone special. This is someone special. Okay, so Sammy's going to test it out for us. He's pretending like he doesn't want to be here, but Dilo, he's very excited to test this out. I am his midwife. He has officially reached 9 months of pregnancy, and today he's going to be delivering his baby. That's his wife, who is so excited to watch him in pain. She's probably not going to come on the screen, but she's going to help him breathe through the contractions. Let's get started. Okay, so, okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to put it up for 15 seconds.
Okay, tell me how do I go up?
No, just go on 15 seconds. I'm going to do this part.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Hold on a second. Okay.
Please start at level 1.
I am starting at level 1.
Ready,
Okay.
set,
Go.
go.
Hold on.
Tell me when to start.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to see how to do this. Hold on a second.
Can you please figure it out first?
Okay, go. Ready, set, go. Did you feel it?
Oh, yeah.
That's 1. It's 15 seconds. Breathe. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Okay, come on, it's not that
Did
hard.
you get too low in the front?
Go.
What is that?
You're
Level
2 centimeters right now.
2 centimeters done.
Why are you changing so fast?
It's every 15 seconds.
How's that 15 seconds?
Almost 15 seconds. You have 5 seconds. Brace yourself.
Okay, just chill,
3,
chill.
2, 1, go.
You
Got this. You got this. Okay?
3, 2, 1.
Oh my god. This is it.
One more. You can
No.
do one more.
No.
You can do one more.
No.
Come on, try.
That's way too intense.
Try it.
You're gonna blow my stomach out. I told you it's too low. I told you it's too low.
Go.
Okay. You got this.
I told you it's too low at the front, man. Like you're like okay. And that's it. No more.
Go.
No.
Last one.
No, here's for it.
Come on, you can almost say what level is he on?
He's on 4.
He's on
Five.
5? Okay. Go. You're almost there, baby. You got this.
6. Sammy, if you really need me to stop, I'll stop.
Go. he's a woman practicing proper breathing techniques right now. Go.
What are we on?
You have 4 more to go.
Where are we on right now? 6.
6.
I told you it was too low at the front.
Here you go. So are you actually in pain or are you lying right now?
Does it stop or does it go again?
Go away, trust me. I told you the front is too low. It's not on the side. It's like in my stomach.
That's where it's supposed to be. Okay, go. 8. Are you okay?
Okay.
Okay. 9.
This is 9.
This is 9. We almost did it. Baby's almost here. Now the next part is you gotta push the baby.
That's the part I leave.
4, 3. 10. Okay. Sammy, you did it. Yo, he did it. You guys, it's a true miracle of God. He made it to 10. Okay, we can take it off.
No, leave it on for a minute.
No, take it off. Take it off.
Yeah, we have to do this for
No,
hours.
take it off. Take it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
You did it. You did it. Congratulations.
Oh, it's too low, man.
I hold myself full. Okay, guys,
That's
he
exactly
made it.
where it is.
He made it to 10. He did a really great job. Good job, Sammy. You definitely would not be great in the labor and delivery room, but you soldiered through it. So everybody give him a round of applause. Okay, so
Okay, here's the thing, guys. It was hilarious. It was hilarious, and I was also very happy to see a man going through some of the pain.
honestly, it made me feel really good.
Yeah, I know. Because it does not feel like real labor.
Yeah.
It's just like a fraction of what real labor
Yeah.
feels like. But it is painful. Like
Yeah.
the device is actually, it does stimulate a lot of
Yeah.
pain. But I have to say, so he went into a zone.
He did.
Us women do this all the time when we're in incredible pain.
You women. I didn't do that. No, you know what? I don't think I got to that level, but I was in pain, but I didn't make it to that level.
But you do get into this like frame of mind where you're like, I'm just gonna breathe, I'm gonna concentrate, and it's
Yeah.
gonna pass.
Yeah.
But he was dying.
He was, you guys, you don't even know. I asked him after.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, real talk, how was it? And
Yeah.
he was like, it was so painful.
Oh.
And I was just like, yeah, I know. But he said that it's basically like if you have ever gone to a chiropractor, that's pretty much what it is. It's a massaging machine.
Yeah.
And it like zaps you, okay? And it's like a vibration. And so it's not what contractions feel like. I actually had my sister try it on as well. And she like when it got to like 4, she was like, oh my God, that's like really painful. But she also said the same thing. She's like, it's not like contractions. It's pretty much like a vibration and a zap, but it is painful.
Yeah.
So
It's exactly what I said.
yeah, it's
Like,
exactly
yes,
what I said.
it's painful, and yes, you have to breathe through it, but it's
Yeah.
not contraction pain. I don't think anything can actually
mimic it. Yeah.
what what a
That pain is
contraction feels like. Listen to me, y'all ladies, we're superheroes
Whoa.
because we've been there, done that,
I know.
popped out a few more.
But don't you feel like the girls that are about to have a baby any day now, they're probably like, why are you telling us this?
Okay, apologies to all the soon-to-be moms because it is very scary.
Yeah.
Before I gave birth to my first, I watched a video about this makeup blogger who had just given birth.
Yeah.
And she like talked about her birth story.
Yeah.
When I tell you the fear,
I know.
I
Oh my
listen-
goodness.
I literally sat there and I was like, I shouldn't have listened to this. Why am I listening to her birth story? I was so nervous.
It's not even that, girl. Have you ever gone to those those classes that they make you take with your first baby and you're like sitting there? I went to that. I went to those classes, okay? Because I wanted to educate myself. I didn't need the education, let me tell you, okay? And like I'm sitting there and like there's all these other moms and like the dads were also there. And I think the dads were so traumatized because they show you a video and the video is just like, I didn't want to see it. I know it was going to happen to me, but I didn't want to see it. Like I didn't want to really see it.
I saw one birthing video and it was about somebody who had natural birth and they actually had midwives who brought the tub.
Oh, like at home.
Yeah, so they had a water birth at home. And in the beginning, I was like, oh, this is so cool or whatever. And you kind of saw the husband supporting the wife.
Yeah.
When she was having her contractions or whatever. And then she gets in the tub. Okay. And then she's like floating in this water trying to breathe. And now I'm standing here.
Why am
watching
I
this video.
laughing?
It's so, because I was so, you know what it is? You know when you're in middle school and they make you watch like birthing and stuff, like, videos?
Yes.
So I have noticed that I have blocked that part out of my memory.
Yeah,
I don't
it didn't
remember-
happen. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. I do not remember watching these videos in like sex ed when it came to middle school. I did the exact same thing for this video.
Yeah,
I literally like watched it, and I feel like I just remember her in the tub, and she's just like floating with her belly like, in the tub.
Okay, shout out to the moms that can do it. But for the life of me, I was like, don't give me a tub, give me a hospital, okay?
Seriously.
Because like for me, I'm like, if something happens, that's the fear that I have, right? Where I'm like, if something happens, I don't want to be like, okay, they're gonna shove you in an ambulance. Like if you're at a hospital, like everything is there. But I know there's a lot of moms that are like cool with like home births and stuff like that. I'm not one of those moms.
After I gave, so when I was pregnant with my third,
Yeah.
and they say the more kids you have, like your labor is really
Yeah.
super quick, right?
Yeah.
I felt my first contraction at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I took a Tylenol because I'm like, oh, it's probably like a Braxton Hicks or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
really bad. Like, so I took
Yeah.
a Tylenol. I rolled over, and like 45 minutes later, I couldn't sleep, and another one, like they kept coming, and I just knew, like my body was like, just get ready. It's happening.
It's time.
So I roll over and I look at Farhan and I was like, hey, listen, you got to get up now. And he's like, get up for what? And I was like,
my-
this baby is coming. And he didn't believe me, but I had a lot of like false
Yeah.
labor
Yeah.
things where I could think,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going into labor now.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's 4:30 and it's getting really, really bad. It's about like 5:15 now. I was like, call the midwives, let them know. We called them and I wasn't full term. I was only 36 weeks at the time.
Oh, okay.
So my midwives were already at the hospital delivering a baby.
Oh, lucky.
So they were like, just bring her in. Because
Yeah.
whether she is or not in labor, we should just check her. And
For sure, for sure.
See, this is unbearable pain. And then we call up my mom. And she comes because I'm like, the other two are still sleeping. And I'm like, Mom, just come and like stay here so that
Yeah.
Mom can take me to the hospital. She gets here. I'm climbing down the stairs.
Yeah.
And I can't talk to her and I can't finish coming down the stairs. So I stop midway and I'm like, and my mom looks at me and I lock eyes with her. And she was like, and I just looked at her and I was like, Mom, please tell Farhan to bring the car. And I just,
Why are you telling your story like this? It's putting like the fear of God in me all over.
oh my goodness, it was so, because it happened so fast.
Oh my God.
That I wasn't ready for it. And I also wasn't ready to have the baby. I was 36 weeks. I
Yeah,
was like, and
true.
there's so much time.
You got time. Yeah, exactly.
And then he rolls the car around. I get in the passenger seat. We're not even halfway to Brampton Civic. It's about 25 minutes from our house, okay? We're not even halfway there. And I felt the pain in my bum.
Oh my God.
And I looked over at Farhan and I was like, this baby is coming. And he's looking at me like, hold it in. I'm driving as fast.
You're gonna have a baby in the car. Is that not a fear?
That is a huge fear.
That's a huge fear.
And I honestly thought I was going to have a baby in the car.
Oh my God.
And then I can't make it from the parking lot to the front door.
Oh my gosh.
I could not make that walk. I don't know how I did it. I was like over his shoulder.
Like, was it
trying to get through.
because of the contractions?
Because they were, when you're at the end,
Real quick, like right out, one
it's
after another.
one after another. You have a second to breathe, and then it's another one and another one and another one, and they're so painful. Yeah, I literally was like, you feel like you're gonna black out. I think I probably did. It was so painful. We get to the front desk. These MFN nurse looks at me. Guess what she wants to do? She wants to do a COVID screening. And she's like, you need to remove your mask and get a new mask.
You should have been like, lady, do you know what's about to happen right now?
I looked at her and Farhan goes, can we get a wheelchair first?
Oh my God.
Because I could not even stand on my own 2 feet. Like they
Yeah.
were not supporting my body anymore.
I don't
literally hunched
understand. Like
over.
they didn't realize that you're popping a babe.
There was no sense of urgency. They were all like la-di-da. Like it's
We see this every day.
Yeah. And then they brought a wheelchair, and then one of the nurses like was reeling me in, and she was like, oh, is this your first? And Farhan's like, no, it's our third. And she was like, and then she ran.
Oh,
because
my God.
I think they realized that because it wasn't my first, then
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
actually coming.
yeah.
You know, when it's your first, you kind of think, oh,
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
it's new and you don't really understand your body. She ran. Like we left Farhan behind. She ran me to the maternity ward. I get there, my midwives are there, it's chaos on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
I get into the room, my midwife looks at me, she's like, if you have a second, put your gown on so I can check you.
Yeah.
I somehow get my gown on, I'm lying, I just crashed on the
Oh my
bed,
God.
okay?
Oh my God.
She comes to me, she checks me and she's like, don't move.
Oh my God.
And I knew it.
Your story's so scary.
I knew it. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna push. And then as soon as she turned, my only saving grace was that my water didn't break.
Oh my gosh.
As soon as she turns around, because she checked me, turns around, my water broke.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, don't go anywhere because I am going to push and I'm letting you know now. And she was like, wait 1 second. And she couldn't get the second midwife because they were delivering in the
Oh
next
my
one.
God. So then she did her.
4 nurses came. So it was like nurse, midwife.
Oh my God.
And she was like, oh, and usually when you're with midwives, they're really good. They're like, why don't you stand and try to birth? Why don't you go on your back? Because it's easier. Gravity will help the baby kind of come out. You're not pushing so hard.
Yeah.
They have really good techniques, right?
Yeah.
But I was like on my back, like regular, just feet up.
Yeah.
They couldn't even get the stirrups. Like my feet were just like kind of hanging in the air. And then the nurse is like, Mama, you gotta keep your leg up. But I had no energy.
Oh my God.
And then I looked over at Fran. I was like, Fran, just hold up my leg.
Yeah.
He's holding one leg. The nurse is holding the other leg. Girl, 2 pushes on this kid.
Oh my gosh.
2 pushes. Let me tell you guys something. I went into labor at 4:30 in the morning and my kid came at 7:11.
Whoa. 7-Eleven.
7:11. It
Lucky baby.
was crazy.
Okay, that's chaotic for me.
And I was not ready. And like, as you guys know, I'm a teacher, so I didn't have a supply teacher.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was going, I was like, it's a Monday. I was gonna chill. Like, we'll figure it out. We'll do some weekend journals. And we're gonna do a little bit of DPA, and then I'll figure out what I want to do with the rest of
my gosh.
I had no supply plans. I had no supply teachers. I had nothing ready. And I am panicking, and my husband is texting my vice principal, being like, listen, I'm taking her to Brandon Pacific. Just figure it out. She's saying that this teacher is a very good supply teacher. Maybe if you can contact her. And she was
my
like,
God.
don't message me. You just make sure she's okay.
Oh my gosh. How have I never heard this story?
I don't know. I feel like it was my third, and maybe I just didn't get a chance to share it, or
That is so
it was
wild.
chaos.
That's wild.
Yeah, and then as soon as he came out, he had like really low sugar and stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't full term, so the pediatrician came, and then they were checking him and stuff, and then his sugar was really low, and they immediately just took him to the NICU.
Aww.
And that was the whole story.
Oh my God, that makes me kind of sad though.
I know, it's like I went through all this chaos, and then my baby's not even there.
But you are a seasoned mom. I think if it was like the first one, it's even more scary because then you just hear the word NICU and you're like, you know, which it is scary. Let's be real. It's really scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you something.
What's up?
Let me ask you something.
All right.
So, do you think at any point in all 3 of your labors, you would have opted for the epidural?
Okay, originally for my first labor, I was gonna, in my birth plan, I had epidural.
Okay.
And I wanted to do it because I was really scared, and I was like, I'm not gonna go through all this pain.
Of course.
It's the kind of pain that people are like,
It's like
life or death.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't. And I was like, if modern medicine is around, I'm gonna take advantage of it.
Yeah, why
You know,
not?
when I'm
Why
on my
not?
period, I take Tylenol.
Yeah, totally.
When I have a headache, I take an Advil. So
Yeah,
why
totally.
not, right?
Totally, why not?
And I did, but I feel like as soon as this is what I've noticed. As soon as my water breaks with kids, my labor is just
Really quick. Yeah.
And then third time around, my water didn't break, and it was just super fast. And then when I ended up doing my first birth without an epidural, I just set the bar so high, and I was like, Aruj, you can't get an epidural for the second one. What is wrong with you?
Come on, girl. Come on.
I know. I mom shamed myself.
No, but you know what? Okay. I know what you're saying. I have to say though that like I remember when I was like pregnant and I was just sitting there and I was like I want to try natural. I don't know what the hell I thought I was. Goodbye. That's what I thought. Okay, but in my mind at the time, I was like, I'm gonna try for natural, okay? And then like mentally you're preparing yourself, right? But then when that shit hits, you're just like, not happening. I refuse. Give me all the drugs you got and the good ones, please. Okay. So then I did that. But I'm not gonna lie, my mom in like the back of my mind is like, don't take the epidural. Don't do it. It's not good. You're gonna get paralyzed. And I was just, there's a chance you could get paralyzed. And like the fear, right? And I'm not gonna lie, like the epidural needle is no joke, guys. That thing is humongous. It's thick. Okay. Like you're just like, oh my God, Aruj. Like they literally make you, well, you didn't experience it, but they literally, you have to like hold on to a pillow and you bend over and they will tell you, don't move a muscle. don't move, okay?
But-
and your contractions are coming in. And so like I remember when I got it with Emma, my contractions started and I was bent over, and like first they freeze you and then they like put that needle in, okay? And like it's the weirdest feeling ever. For all you guys that have gotten it, y'all know what I'm talking about. So like you're bent over, and then right when I'm bent over, my contraction starts, and I'm like, wait, I'm getting a contraction, and I'm like going through it, and then the doctors, they're quick though. They're so quick. And then you have to like literally bend over, and my midwife was in front of me and she was kind of like holding me down, and then they like freeze you, and when they stick that needle in, it's not even pain. It's like this like the weirdest like intense pressure.
Oh God.
And like I was just like ow, and then I was like, oh my God. And she's like, is it hurting you? And I'm like, no, it's just like a lot of pressure. And then you feel this like this sensation,
okay,
like down your legs, like everywhere, and it's just like this weird, like it's like a buzz or something. It's like weird, okay? And then after that, smooth sailing. And after that, it's like, I'm hungry. Should we play some music? You know, it was one of those. But I'm not gonna lie, it was like a great experience in that sense, because then you're laying down and like you can still kind of feel the contractions, but then you can kind of turn it up if it gets too intense.
Okay.
But for Asher's time, when I got the epidural, it was quick and everything worked out fine. But then near the end, when I had to like actually push the baby out, they lowered the epidural so that I would know when to push. And I was just like, okay, it was just odd. But what I was trying to get to, I kind of went off on a tangent here, was that, do you think that you opted not to get the epidural because you felt like, oh, if I don't get the epidural and I do it natural, then like I am like a super strong woman and it's gonna give me like street cred?
1000%.
Okay, but the fact that you admitted it,
I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
I'm not
Thank
gonna
you.
lie on this podcast. Listen to me. I'm just gonna brush
Okay.
my shoulder a little bit because
I'll brush it for you.
Yeah,
I'll brush it for you.
I am very proud. I am very proud.
That is amazing.
But I'm not saying it to discount anybody else's birthing experience.
Like mine, right?
Okay. Listen to all the mom haters who are gonna come at me now. I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
But I am saying it because I feel like any mom should be really proud of the fact that you were able to give birth to a human being.
Totally.
No matter how you give birth.
Yeah, I agree.
C-section, natural, bathtub.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
Epidural, no epidural. Is, you know,
Yeah.
it's an amazing experience, and I am really proud.
Yeah, and you should be, rightfully so.
Yes.
Because I think like, I mean, before the epidural was even there, most women would do that stuff naturally, like our moms. I don't know how the hell they did it, honestly. Like, I don't know, okay?
4 kids.
Yeah, and then like our grandmas are like 12 and 13 kids. Like, are y'all thinking no epidural?
Honestly.
But it's a lot. I feel like it's a lot. I feel like it's also a lot of pressure. My sister actually, she gave birth to her son, her second born, and she did not get the epidural just because it was too quick of a delivery and she couldn't get it. And I remember I talked to her after and I was just like, how was it? And she was just like, honestly, I would not recommend it. Like literally, she's like, I wouldn't recommend it. She's like, if I had to go back, I would 100% get the epidural because I'm not getting like a badge of honor for it. Like I didn't feel like you're not winning any prizes that you want to put yourself through the pain. But I also understand it from your perspective too, where I'm like, that is something to be proud of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is something to be proud of. But for me, I don't need that pride. I'm fine. You know, people ask me like, did you get the epidural? And I'm like, abso-freaking-lutely I did. Yes, I did. Yeah. And what do I recommend? Get in there, get your epidural. Okay? Like smooth sailing, girl. Come on.
And if I'm being honest, when anybody ever asks me, I always say get the epidural. I've never ever advised anybody not to get it.
Yeah.
Why? Because I don't want to set anybody up to think that they are incapable of doing something just because I told them.
Yeah,
try
totally.
out an epidural, right?
Totally.
Who am I to tell you to do that? You guys know your body's best.
Yeah,
Also,
exactly.
when I was pregnant, there was so much fear around giving birth that when I did complete it and when I did give birth and I didn't have an epidural, I was very proud of myself. It is probably one of my top 3 most amazing accomplishments that I've achieved.
That is huge though, because like if you think about it, look at the amount of pain you're going through. Not that you're putting yourself through, but like you're going through this immense level of pain, which is like the equivalent of like, I don't know, so many broken bones or something. That's what they say.
Yeah.
So like you're going through that with no meds.
Yeah.
Just soldiering on through, girl. That is amazing. I'll give it to you. It's amazing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. But I feel like I'm not looking for like a badge of honor. I'm not looking for any of that. But the street cred, I will
You
give
get the
myself.
street cred.
And
You
I
get
give
the
it to
street
myself.
cred. Yeah. And that's,
I am very proud of.
I think that is awesome. But I also sometimes feel like there's a lot of like our older generation, like our parents' gen, which are very much like they have to go out and promote it and be like, oh, well, my daughter, she gave birth without an epidural. My daughter, she gave birth without an epidural. And I'm just like, you are amazing. Good for you. And internally, I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? So sometimes I feel like it's a little disheartening too for the people that maybe do take the epidural, because there's times when I've felt that way where sometimes like somebody will say, oh well, like yeah, like oh yeah, like she didn't take the epidural, she didn't take the epidural, and I'm just like, yeah, but I did. Like, as much as I really don't care, sometimes you're just like, does that make me less of a strong person because I didn't take it? You know what I mean?
But in hindsight, I wish I had your calm birthing experience.
That's true. That's true.
Because
right?
I wish I was able to kind of like lay back and nap and do all these things, because those things make a huge difference. When you have to push, if you don't have the energy to push, you can be doing it for like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's so true.
Right?
That's so true.
But if you do have an epidural, then your body's just not overworking itself.
Yeah.
When it is time for your baby to come, then you have a little bit more energy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
To push the baby.
I agree with that.
Right?
I agree with that.
And the second thing is, I know that you lessen your epidural like when you push. When you're pushing without the epidural, you literally can feel everything like just tearing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy. And sometimes, so it helped me with my second and third birth because I learned some skills on how to push. Also, this is a huge topic. People don't tell you how to push.
How do you push?
So, in my mind, in TV, your like legs are up and you're screaming, right?
Yeah, that's
I feel like that's what I see. I always see like a okay? But guys, that's not how to do it. What you have to do is you literally chin down, okay? And any screaming that you're gonna do, you
internalize
inside to push your baby out.
Wow.
And I'll like tell you 3 pushes for my second and 2 for my third. Doing
That's crazy.
that technique.
Wow.
They slid right out of me. And my third time I had no tearing.
Okay, guys, you heard it from the seasoned mother of 3, au naturel.
Chin down. Chin down.
Internal screaming.
When the
Internal
pain
screaming.
comes, you just push that pain out. Don't get it out of your mouth. Push it out with your body.
Can you just be a doula? Like, what in the world?
Am I in the wrong field?
You might be. You could do a lot of things. You could be a doula, you could be a teacher, you could do everything.
We're just out here doing everything.
I think this topic is really good though, because I've always wanted to like hear from somebody that went natural, right? For all 3. And then like how they feel about it, and that the fact that they're honest about it. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of the mom shaming is, there's so much of it that surrounds like children and childbirth and just like everyone's personalized experiences. And sometimes you do feel like you are not good enough. Like even when it comes to like breastfeeding, like you are not good enough unless you breastfeed, you know? So it is tricky, right?
And one thing that I will also say is I heard a comment, and I can't remember who said it. It was like a while ago, where somebody asked somebody like, what was your birth journey? And they said, oh, I had a natural birth. I guess no epidural, right?
Yeah.
And she looks at them and she was like, oh, so should I give you a badge of honor? And she just said it to her face in a public setting.
That's kind of mean.
It was so mean. And
I know.
The thing is, the person who gave birth, who is very proud of their birth story, who was sharing something personal and intimate with that, she just shut her down.
Oh my gosh.
And it was so personal and she felt so attacked. And I just feel like that whole scenario is something that we can address in a different episode.
Yeah.
That mom shame.
Yeah,
But I definitely feel like it when we do it to ourselves,
Yeah.
and when we do it in our mom community, I feel like we can't ever see any mom succeed because you have to bring them down.
Oh yeah.
Because you need to bring them down to your level. If you're unhappy,
Yeah.
if you didn't like the way your birth went,
Yeah.
if you didn't have control on how things happen, because sometimes you don't.
Yeah,
if you
that's
had
so
an
true.
emergency C-section,
Yeah.
if you had to get an epidural because you feel like you wanted a natural birth but you couldn't handle the pain, or all these things that you're feeling internally, but all of a sudden you are now throwing it on somebody else.
Exactly. You're projecting. Yeah.
You're projecting it.
Yeah.
And then the other, you're wanting to bring that other person down.
Oh, for sure. Just to make yourself feel better.
Just to make yourself feel better.
It definitely comes from a place of, I think, a personal hurt. Like they were hurt by maybe somebody had said something to them, and then for them it was just like, well, you know, why is it like that somebody that does a natural birth is like better, you know? And I think maybe that's why they said it in that way, even though it came out the wrong way and it shouldn't have been said that way, because I think both experiences are still like rough experiences. You know, whether you take the epidural or not, like at the end of the day, that experience of childbirth is still rough, because you can't just walk in and be like, I'm not even 1 centimeter and get the epidural. Like you actually have to wait before you get it. And so you do have contractions, and it is a scary time, and you're still pushing the baby out, and like there's a lot that comes with it. So whether you get it or not, both I think are really, really like difficult moments and difficult experiences. Yeah, the pain is probably a lot more with, you know, going natural, but some people get the epidural and they still experience pain.
I've heard this too.
Yeah, where like the epidural doesn't work. So I think that like we just have to acknowledge that both are, you know, experiences that, you know, are personal to each person.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that one is better than the other, but yeah, you are also allowed to be proud of your experience, you know? And that's
Exactly.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I love hearing other people's birth stories. I may not always share
too.
mine, but I don't know. I love hearing everybody's, like, because I feel like
It's so unique.
it is so unique.
Yeah.
And any mom who has shared their birth story, I love when they just get back in that moment.
Yeah.
And when they tell it, it's so genuine and it's so real. And I love that kind of storytelling.
Like when you just told me yours, you guys, I've known her for so long. I've never heard the story.
This is the story.
Ever.
Yeah, with my little Isa.
And I was getting really scared. Like, genuinely, I'm not lying. I was terrified. Okay. Like, you could see the goose pimples, the goose bumpies. Okay. And I was just like, you're telling me this, but this is the best form of birth control. Like, I could not. Okay.
Yeah.
But,
Let's be real. If y'all ain't ready, you ain't ready.
Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready.
Just leave it alone.
Is anyone ever ready though? I don't think
No.
that they.
No.
I don't think that they are. Okay, so like on that note, let's ask you guys to share your experience with either epidural or natural. How was it? You can share it on our Instagram story, on our YouTube comments. Obviously, if we ever talk about it, it's always going to be anonymous. But we would love to interact with you guys, and it would be a great way for other people to also know what's popping out there, because there's a lot of weird stuff that happens.
Yeah. Also, I know that there has to be one or two like really odd,
Like
stories.
funny ones.
odd ones.
Yeah, there always is.
Who out here, whose susral showed up?
Stop.
Okay? Because I know y'all got those sasuma sitting in your waiting room. I need to know who made you palak paneer. Who was sitting in your waiting room? Somebody come and share
Or
with me.
who is beside you? Who is your partner? Because sometimes the hubbies are like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. So who was your side
Yeah.
side person?
Yeah. Or did your partner be like a roadrunner and run out of the room because they could not handle it?
Oh yeah.
So we need to know. We need to know.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. Okay. So we're waiting for you guys' responses, and we will see you guys next
We'll
time.
see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.